fighting. When they're not sleeping, they're fighting all the time. And that's just how the whisperer likes it. Now, the whisperer is a rat. And if you can keep the cats fighting each other, then the cats won't fight the rats. But just maybe things in Scrapyard are about to change for the better. Or, as the whisperer sees it, change for the worse. And the story is told by the rat. Okay? Cats fighting. I love it. I mean, when they're fighting each other, they're not coming after me. No. Or my kind. My kind? Well, you could say I'm a bit like a mouse. All right, a little bit bigger, but just as cuddly. I'm not a mouse. I'm a rat. Hey, don't go. Listen. I've got a story to tell you. And there is a picture of the cats in the scrapyard. And you can see they're arguing and they're fighting and they're having a good go at each other. Two families of cats. One ginger, one black and white. Did I say families? These are not families. These are more like gangs. They've been at each other's throats for as long as I can remember. They're rude. They spit. They call each other terrible names. And they fight. And they fight like cats. All the time. There they are. Look. See them. Fighting. Spitting. And being rude to each other. Oh, terrible, isn't it? Loads of cats. Right. Imagine, to my surprise, one night when I came across these two. They were weird. I mean, the way they looked at each other. It wasn't fighting talk. It was weird talk.
Oh, Amber, your eyes gleam brighter than the stars. Hey, Monty, your words are like poetry. Have some fish.
This is very difficult with a man with a deep voice.
There's Amber. Feasted on your beauty. I couldn't eat another thing.
And there is the weird and wonderful too. Okay? There they are, talking to each other in funny voices. Whoops. Drop them up. Okay. Right. Now, I mean, stars, poetry, fish. What's all this about? What's got into them? Suddenly, I knew what it was. It was love. It was love. Oh, yes.
Oh, Monty.
Amber. Oh, yeah. Right. Now, this was bad, guys. This was really bad. Because these two cats were the son and the daughter of the gang leaders. Oh, yes. The gangs would have to be told. There was only one problem. One problem. How could we tell the gang leaders 1 hour, they stopped fighting so they could deal with all this love business. And they called the 2 cats, which they now call the love cats. And they made them stand before the game leader. And old Ginger Tom spoke first, and he was very, very serious. There they are. You can just see in the middle, there's Monty and Amber standing before the games. And you can see me hiding over here in the corner. Okay. Right. This is a disgrace. This is a disgrace. You have betrayed yourself. And what's worse, you betrayed your family. Then, up got one-eyed Flossie. I hate to do it. But I have to agree. I have to agree with this old flea bag. Now, you must choose. You can either go back to your families, see each other no more, and we'll forget about all this dreadful business. But if you refuse, you will be banished. That means you will never, ever, ever be allowed to return unless you promise not to carry on in this shocking way. And there they are. Look at their poor shocked faces, look. What a choice. They've either got to stay and be good cats, no more loving, or they've got to go away and stay away forever. Poor little cats, look, they're frightened. You can see they're frightened. This is just too hard, Amber said, and the voice was all wobbly, like she was just about to cry. We won't do it, said Monty. If we must choose, we choose to go. Yes, oh yes. Hip 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 hooray, goodbye, my lovey-dovey friends. And good riddance. So Monty and Amber walked away from everything they'd ever known. There they go, look. Isn't that sad? Leaving all their family behind, and they're going away.
Yes, that is sad.
It is sad. Okay. Well, after that, it was back to business as usual. And for quite a while, things between the gangs were quite good. Or I mean, it's quite bad, as I can remember. Lovely. Every night, fighting, spitting, calling rude names. Then, one freezing cold winter's night, something terrible happened. Who can tell me what happened next? Hands up, no calling out. Who can tell me what happened next? What's happening next? It wasn't thunder. Yeah. What happened next?
One of the cats died.
No, they didn't die. Even worse than that. Not lightning. What's that? Got it, Jeff?
Storm.
there, look, here's all the gang fighting away. And look who comes back at the top. It's Monty and it's Amber. And they've come back to their families. Okay. Straight away, the two of them were surrounded by cats, hissing, murmuring. And old Tom and old Flossie pushed their way through. Yeah, we take it, Flossie purred. You've come back because you realise you need your families. Good. And then she snapped. Now you must separate. Go back to your families. Hang your heads in shame. We do need our families, said Monty. But before you force us to separate, there's something you should see. Suddenly, a flap on the box moved, and out came 4 of the ugliest cat brats you've ever seen. There were 2 ginger ones, and there were 2 black and whites. These are our babies, Amber said, and they need our families too. And the gang was gasping. There they are, in the box. Monty and Amber with their 4 little babies. Aren't they cute? Yeah. Not according to the rat. The rat doesn't think they're cute. The rat doesn't like them. Yeah, right. Well, old Tom smiled, but he wasn't laughing. This is no problem. These 2 little beauties will go to their mother's family. And these 2 black and white moggies will go to his father's family. That's easily settled. Not really, said Monty. And something in the box moved the flap again. And then, yuck! There was another one. But another what? It wasn't ginger. And it wasn't black and white. Or maybe it was. Maybe it was both. All 3. Kind of stripy. We have 5 kittens, Amber said. And this is Tiger. Oh. Isn't that cute, right? Look at that. There's Tiger. It was the first time I'd ever seen Flossie or old Tom lost for words. Speechless they were. Amber picked up the one she called Tiger and held him close to them both. Say hello to your gran and granddad, Tiger, she said. And there's old Tom and Flossie looking at Tiger. They don't know what to make of him. No, he's different. Well, I'm worried. I'm really worried. Because while they sort this Tiger business out, what if they get used to not fighting? What if they get used to not spitting? And what if they get used to being nice to each other? Or worse, what if they get ideas about coming after me or my kind? Nah, those dumb old cats, they won't change. I'll lie low. I'll get whispering. I'll be fine, don't you think? But what about those cat brats? I've got a bad feeling about them. If they get on to me, I'm gone. And there's the rat disappearing into the distance with the cats There you go. What did you think? Who likes that story? Hands up. Who didn't like those hands? Who didn't like those stories? Hands up. Oh, that's good. Not too bad then. One or two. There's always one